where Trisha Takanawa is currently, I don't know. All right, so hopefully everything's good. I guess we're okay. I like the natural lighting a lot better from the sun than my actual late light, which is a lot better. But all right, so I'm live. I can put my light on them, but let me at least move some junk around here quick. So yeah, because I know it's really like dark, like I look really washed out, but I don't have my overhead light on yet because it's very, very warm. And I mean very, very warm. That over here is everyone need that. I can put this back over here. Okay, let's put it back the right way. Okay. There we go. That's better. Hey, welcome everybody. It's viewer's choice this week because I've had a long week. So yes, Crown, I did. I actually did not know it was going to drop today. I didn't know the next Hell of a Boss episode was dropping today. But my mom and I watched it about 2 o'clock. No, about 1:30 we watched it. So it was only up for about 30 minutes. So, but yep, I watched the new Hell of a Boss. How you doing, Crown? How was your week? This week it's viewer's choice. So it's whatever you want me to talk about. That's what we're talking about this week because I've had a long week and I did not have a chance to come up with topics this week because of it. Oh, did I not have a chance to come up with topics this week? But yeah, I did catch the new Hell of a Boss episode. I was a little bummed Stolas wasn't in it. I kind of thought we would have gotten a little more conclusion to that from the last episode. But yeah. I figured that, yeah. Yeah, my week was a bit of a shit show. So I had to work on the 4th of July. That was not fun. There was less to do there than you could have ever deemed possible, believe it or not. And the best part, you're going to love this. I got accused by a customer of being insensitive and rude to them by telling them, quote, "It's because of customers like you that I have to be here working." And they went and said something to the manager, who then came down and said something to me after. And I love this about management. And I even said this the next day to the two people that I worked with, the one that was there when I supposedly said this, and the other person that's there that has a little more experience. I said, I really love how managers will come down and say something when there's nobody here that could get your back. And he actually looked at me and goes, that does suck. Because the coworker that I was working with could vouch for me that I did not even come anywhere near close to saying that. But of course, the lady flat out accused me of it. I got in trouble for it. It's just a warning, but it was a keep your mouth and opinions to yourself, or keep your mouth shut and your opinions to yourself type of warning. So it's I'm watching you now warning, but it's like keep your mouth shut. So that was my week, basically, because I had to close all 4 days I worked. Yesterday was fun. I had to do my grocery shopping, which I actually look forward to. Stopped and got McDonald's for lunch because I didn't feel like getting a sandwich from the local convenience store because I didn't know how bad the weather and heat was going to be today or tomorrow. I thought, worst case scenario, I can quick run and get dinner. That could be dinner like Saturday or Sunday, because if it's going to be really super warm out, I'm not even playing the game of let's try to cook something on the stove. That's too freaking hot, and we don't have anything cold to eat. So, but yeah, that was my week. It was a really horrible crap show. Let me put my other light on here. Okay, that actually looks a lot better than my other light, but yep. But yeah, that was my week. It was a long week. Definitely was not a good week. It was definitely one for the record books of how bad a week could possibly get. But oh, did it suck. Oh, did it suck. Did it ever suck? I did manage to get a couple of videos recorded from my other channel, which is nice. I did get them uploaded last Sunday. I gotta fix them up tonight when I'm done with this, so I can try to upload them tomorrow. So that's gonna be even more fun. Now my bald spot is still there. So like I said, it's viewer's choice tonight for what to talk about, because I had a long week, 4 closing shifts in a row, and I get to do it again this week because the one other person that could do closing shifts on a 2-week vacation down to Florida to go to Disneyland. Or no, Disney World. Sorry, Disney World's in Florida. Disneyland's in California. But yeah, he went down to Disney to go to the Star Wars thing with his girlfriend's family because they don't like him. And they want, the only way that he's going to make amends with that relationship is he has to leave her and the family will like him. They don't like him, period. So there's that. And then 2 of my other coworkers are leaving this week for their 1-week vacation. They're going to Delaware. So yeah, it's a freaking good week to be me. Ugh, I hate this week, but yeah, it's been one of those crapshoots. Although I did find out on Monday that last weekend, a friend of mine, her uncle died, and last weekend was her birthday. In fact, it was last Saturday. Was her birthday, and her uncle, I think she had up that he died Sunday, so that's really sad because she went back to her hotel room. She was out of town. She went back to her hotel room and she was sobbing and drunk and she was really upset because of it. So that really got to her. But she's at the funeral, I think, this week because she went to a funeral today. So I think it's his. I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying not to talk that much to her because that's the one that I have feelings for, that I'm trying my best to work through with. And the people that did stay only stayed for a couple minutes because they don't like dealing with me. So hopefully more people come in this week, but if not, hey, it just shows that I'm not loved. And that's the end of that. So great. But yeah, like I said, it's viewer's choice this week for what to talk about because I have nothing. I have absolutely positively nothing to talk about this week because of work and everything else that I've been doing on the side screwing me over. So give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions. Let me know what you wanted to hear. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Let's get this going. Somebody, anybody, everybody, please, somebody start talking. Somebody say something. Somebody communicate something. There's like nobody in my chat and there's nobody in watching me again, which is really making me kind of, it's his last week all over again. Come on, we're 19 episodes into this. I mean, how many episodes did I make it into the podcast? I think I made a lot, almost 5 years of that podcast for the absolutely completely random podcast. I start this one and at 18 weeks, I drop off to like no viewers and I'm doing this live. I know the other one went up on a Sunday and I got a lot more viewers, but everybody can watch it during the week. If you want to be here live, that's great. I don't mind people to interact with, but you can watch this later on in the week too. So don't be afraid to, tune in and watch this later on in the week because it's worth watching. But we did get a new kitten. The neighborhood cat had a couple more kittens, and Twix is very, very well behaved when she wants to be. When she wants to try to crawl into my corner or crawl under my blankets or eat my blanket or try to eat my pillows, she's not cute. She's annoying, but there is that. But yeah, so I'm just here talking at this point. So let me know what you want to talk about. Give me your topics du jour tonight. As there's nobody on my stream, and I'm starting to get a little discouraged. I mean, Crown was here, then Crown left. And if people don't want to come because I'm trans, then that's great. That's perfect. If I'm going to lose viewers because of that, then so be it. But at least don't leave me hanging here. Hey, Optimus, how you doing? Well, it might be morning for you. It's evening for me. It's like 7 p.m. my time, but it's nice seeing you. It's viewer's choice this week on the podcast because I had a horrible week and I have no idea what to talk about. So it's viewer's choice. So it's anybody in the chat can give me an idea and I will go off on a tangent on it. Just remember, it has to abide by my channel guidelines. No politics or religion. Everything else is open game. So no politics, no religion, but everything else is open game. Honestly, from what I've seen of it, I have a mixed feelings about it. One, I kind of feel like Michael Bay should stop doing the Transformers movies at this point, mostly because I think the time in the sun for the live action adaptations of it are done. And I apologize if you're hearing my neighbors. It is about 90 some degrees in here with my overhead light on, so I have to have the window open. I'm just hoping they're not going to play music this time because I got a content ID claim on my one video for my other channel, which is great. But yeah, I think the live action adaptation run for Transformers has kind of reached its apex. I think it reached that back with Dark of the Moon, and it did not hesitate to show it. And then we just kept stretching it out a little further. Now, I don't mind the concept of the Transformers, like the Autobots meeting the Maximals. I don't mind that. I like that concept. I always have. In fact, the problem is, I think Netflix did it really well with Kingdom, but we kind of didn't need Michael Bay's adaptation. But at the same time, it is pretty cool to have. Just to see what they would look like and how they would be imagined on the big screen. Because if you think about it, Beast Wars never actually got a decent movie. So, oh, what are the other two that are following it? I didn't know we're getting two more. So, what are the other two called? I seriously didn't know we were getting two more. So that's a shocker to me, actually. But yeah, I mean, I have no issue with it. I don't have no problems one way or the other. It's just I feel like the live action adaptations just reached their apex a while ago for that. Hi, Common. Hi, Chuck. Welcome to the show. It is viewer's choice tonight. My thoughts on the Deadpool 3 rumors. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. I'm not a fan of Deadpool. I've never hid that fact. I'm never going to hide that fact. So anything Deadpool related, it flies right over my head for various reasons. Ooh. Okay, I like the one about it focusing on the golden discs. I mean, we're actually going to be getting a decent Megatron and stuff in this one, or I didn't see everything for Rise of the Beast other than just the clips that were showing up on YouTube and the few reviews that I saw of it. Because my policy still stands, and I almost violated it a couple months ago, but my policy still stands. I am not going to the movies because I just can't see spending the money anymore to go to the movies. Last time I went, it cost me about $30 to $40 for me alone to go. And that was for Battle Angel Alita. So yeah, I'm not going to the movies anymore. But I could definitely get behind a Transformers movie focused on the golden discs. That would be really good. Now, provided it's done well, I could get very, very much behind it. But if it's done horribly, no. But if it's done well, I could get behind it. I would be all for that. Like I said, provided it's done well. Let me try to balance this camera. I found out my tripod is a little off-centered again. Yeah. Actually, I would be excited for that, Chuck, a crossover. I would be excited for because I kind of feel like that's I mean, well, Transformers is crossover with a lot of other things. We had there's a comic book because I just watched Chris McFeely's Fortress Maximus video this afternoon, and it's actually pretty good. So they crossed over with with Star Trek in comics. I know they crossed over with G.I. Joe a few times. I would not mind a crossover with Mobile Suit. That would be pretty cool. See, now this is what, all right, so this is something that I definitely want to bring up with that. Optimus. This is something I definitely want to bring up. I would love to see them make the transmetal forms for the Beast Wars characters, kind of make it seem like they got more like they kind of, after meeting the Autobots or something, they kind of decided, hey, we should go a little more robotic than we are, because we don't need to hide anymore. We can just blend in with the other Autobots. I would love to see transmetal forms, because I always liked the transmetal Megatron from Beast Wars. I hated the fact that it suffered from gold plastic syndrome in the toy, because that means I can never get my hands on one. And I'm not paying the exorbitant amount of highway robbery that third-party manufacturer is asking for theirs, and then have the thing fall to freaking pieces on me just by touching it. So that's obviously not happening, but I would love to get a transmetal version of those figures in a live action movie. I kind of feel like that would be really cool to see, like Cheetor flying around in transmetal form. Optimus's transmetal form, get a Megatron, the transmetal Megatron. That I think would be pretty cool, because I always liked the transmetal looks. Cheetor was the very first one I ever had, which I thought was really cool. Fun story with that. I actually got a VHS tape of the first 2 episodes of season 2 when I bought Cheetor for a penny. I got it for a penny because they were arguing at KB Toys, how much should we charge for this? And the lady looks at me and goes, well, how about a penny? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I actually had a penny. My mom's like, well, if you don't, I do. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a penny. So it was like, here's a penny. I got it for a penny. So it was Aftermath and Coming to the Fusors Part 1, because I always liked the ending of Coming to the Fusors Part 1. Yeah, that's what gets me, is that the Legacy Evolution gave us Transmetal 2 Megatron, but we're not getting Transmetal 1. Like, nobody's giving that thing any damn love. And he was in that form for the longest out of the series. He was in that for a season and a half in Beast Wars. That was a season and a half for him. Even Cheetor is like a close second to his. He was in his transmetal form for at least a season and a half worth, because then he got his transmetal 2 body. I would really, we need a decent transmetal Megatron. I really wish they would come out with one already. But yeah, I did like the Optimal Optimus. I liked from Kingdom. I thought that was, or sorry, Power of the Primes. I did like that. Mostly because the toy itself definitely lends itself to a world of imagination, where you can actually get to the point where you could say, okay, well, this little Optimus is just controlling a suit that he power links into or something, which is really cool because of how the toy is constructed. But yeah, I would love for there to be an actual transmetal Megatron, decently made, because the one that came out in the 90s suffered really bad from GPS. And I really want a transmetal Megatron, a decently made one. I've seen some of Dan versus Chuck. Not all of them, but I've seen some of them. I know there's an entire playlist on YouTube. I know 2 of the streaming things that I have on my Roku player have them up for free. I just have not actually sat down to watch them. Again, I work 8-hour shifts right now, 4 days a week. So I don't have much time to sit down and watch much of anything. Because when I come home, I do a daily vlog on my other channel. I try to do, I got to catch up on I'm trying to learn some Japanese through Duolingo. I'm trying to catch up on other stuff. But yeah, I know it's out there. I just don't get a chance to watch all of it, but I have seen clips of it. So I know of it, and I have seen a couple of it, so just not a lot of them. I have a lot of stuff I've been quoting nowadays. I've been quoting Bender from Futurama with "We're Boned." That's been one of my main ones that I've been doing. Oh yeah, it's been I have been quoting stuff from shows left, right, and sideways lately. It hasn't been funny. Oh, beast machines. Oh, do we have to? Can we not have beast machines, please? I didn't like that one. I mean, the Megatron, I thought that was okay because it was definitely more megalomaniac style. I did like Tankor because Tankor was Tankor. Come on, I never thought Tankor should have been entirely evil. I kind of felt like Tankor should have been one of, look, I'm gonna screw over Megatron, but deep down inside, I'm still a Maximal. But of course, that didn't happen. But yeah, yeah, I know that. I haven't seen the Craven the Hunter trailer yet. I did see the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer. Um, not this past week, but the week before, I did see that. Holy crap! I watched that when I watched that because I was telling my coworker about it. Oh my god! When you start hearing the, I'm not gonna do it. So I don't want to get content struck, but I can't think of the name of the song. But when you started hearing that, it was a Golden Freddy theme. You know shit's about to get real. That's when you know shit's about to happen. When you hear that in a horror movie trailer, you know shit's about to get real. Because I was telling it to my coworker, and yeah, that's it. The Toreador theme. That's it. Thank you. The Toreador theme. When I started hearing that, I was like, oh, shit's about to get real. Like when you hear that, just in the trailer alone, that already spikes the trailer up to a solid 8 for the horror feel. Like, okay, you want to be scared crapless? There you go. Hey, Bit, how you doing? You want to be scared crapless? The Toreador theme will definitely do it. When you don't want to be scared crapless, don't even bother. But then I'm explaining to my coworker about, you're not that late. You're good. When I was explaining to my coworker about the Banana Splits movie, he's looking at me like, what in the hell are you talking about? And I said, well, Warner Brothers originally had the rights for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but then they lost the rights. There's many speculation as to why. I'm personally going with they showed Scott Cawthorn what they had. Like, here's the scripts that we have fixed up. Which one do you like? He looked at all of them, told Warner Brothers to piss off, and Warner Brothers just got the license pulled right from them. But then they had 3 scripts for something that they wanted to have made. They already had sets made for it, or at least something that they could easily put together real fast. They wanted to recoup some of their money. So that's why we got the Banana Splits. I know it's probably not entirely accurate, but that's how I like to imagine it happened. I don't know what the exact calling was of it, but yeah, they lost the rights to it. And that Banana Splits movie just came out of left field for no freaking reason. Just out of curiosity, are we going to get to see what Airazor would have looked like transformed? Because I heard she doesn't transform in the movie. She stays in her bird form the entire time until she's killed. Would somebody explain to me why you refuse to have a semi-famous Transformer character, one of the first female Autobots? Sorry, the first female Maximal that we got within like the 90s generation, because you can't count G1 in the 90s because the 80s kids had that one. My generation had Beast Wars to start off with. Why they decided to cut her? It's like, oh, she's not going to transform. Anybody want to explain that one to me? Because I'm still a little pissed about it. There was a comic book years ago, had the G1, I think it was either G1 or G2 Transformers that crossed over with G.I. Joe. It was interesting, but I don't really see Hasbro wanting to spend the money on that because the last couple G.I. Joe flicks definitely did not help Hasbro's bottom line. I think they finally started shaking that off, so I don't see that happening again. Yeah, I saw her death because like I said, I was watching Chris McFeely's. He did a thing of spoilers, but again, I'm not planning to go to the movies to see this, so I'll take reviews and other stuff for it. I'll do the cliff notes. But yeah, budget hurts a lot of stuff. I remember reading that um Revenge of the Fallen, the second movie, was supposed to have like 5 fallen Transformers. At least that was the supposed idea. It's supposed to be like 5 Transformers that were part of a group called the Fallen instead of just one individual one. But then they showed the budget for all the CGI that they would have to make for that, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna cut this down to 1." At least that was the rumor going around. But then there was one that we were supposed to get like tidal wave in that movie because the aircraft carrier kind of got destroyed. That was supposed to be tidal wave. There was supposedly 3 Transformers were supposed to be Decepticons that were going to smash into it, scan it as it was sinking, and then combine together to form tidal wave. It was supposed to be like a 3-part combiner, but we ended up getting Devastator, and a god awful one at that. Because in all honesty, I like the original Devastator a little more. Just my personal opinion. The original Devastator looked a little better, but yeah. Yeah, they opened up a lot of that old Autobot stuff with Revenge of the Fallen, because that's what Jetfire was. He was an old Decepticon. He was a member of the old school Cybertronians. He came to Earth looking for Energon or something or other with the space bridge, and that was the only one we got. There's supposedly like a whole bunch because what's his name had pictures scattered everywhere in his super secret I do conspiracy theories on Reddit and YouTube basement there. Yeah, because the last time they killed Optimus Prime off, it pissed a lot of people off. That's why he's extremely popular yet. Because there was a video up on YouTube I saw of all the times Optimus Prime died. First time would be in the 1986 Transformers movie, then again in G2 when he was revived, then killed again because he was not fully actually well revived. Then there was, not counting comics, you had, I think it was Transformers Armada when he was sacrificed himself. There was Energon when again he took on Unicron after growing massive sized. You had counting Optimus Primal. There was Beast Wars, the end of season 1 when he exploded in the Transwarp explosion. My favorite line from Rhinox, by the way. You remember that Transwarp explosion? Okay, stupid question. But yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite lines from that. But counting that one, then when he died in Beast Machines, that was 2. So we were up to, I think they had 5 at that point. Then, oh no, 6 with Energon, so 6. I think at the end of it, they had like a grand total of like 8 times that he had died and was subsequently brought. Oh yeah, well, yeah, because they counted the second Michael Bay movie, Revenge of the Fallen. They counted that one as one. So then there was that death. I think there was one other one yet, but I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. Oh, it was the oh no, it was after that. When he died and got reformatted in that CGI series that was on the hub. That counted. So they had that on then too. But yeah, every time you kill off Optimus Prime, you pretty much would have to bring him back immediately. You have to MacGuffin his butt back alive because Transformers is not the same without Optimus Prime. And they proved that with G2. That's it. Transformers Prime. Thank you. Well, I didn't have the hub. I remember when that got announced, I'm channel surfing. I'm rescanning the channels on my TV every like 5 minutes. Nothing, not a zip. I never got it, and it pissed me off. Yeah. Animated Titans. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Titans Return. Thank you. Yeah, he did get killed there. So, all right. Like I said, I remembered the video. I was trying to remember all of them, but yeah, that was doing. But like I said, you have to MacGuffin him back. Like, there has to be a way to bring him back from the dead every time. Because when they did it in the 1986 movie, they did it because his toy was no longer selling. It basically was no longer useful. That's why all the Autobots were being killed in the movie. It's why Ironhide died, Prowl, Windcharger, Wheeljack, why all those Autobots and Decepticons were meeting their end, because their toys were no longer selling. They weren't making any money for Hasbro. Hasbro's like, look, we got to cut this stuff here. We have no chance in hell of this going on. But yeah. So they killed off Optimus. They brought in Rodimus Prime at the end of the movie, and it's like, yeah, Grappler, Huffler. Yeah, I lost track of how many died in that one. There were videos I was watching, people trying to keep track. I just love that movie, though, so I really don't care how many died anymore at this point. I just love that movie so much. I love that movie. But yeah. But it was just one of those annoying things. Because what bothers me is, here's my question. Because I know time-wise, it would work out. Because I did rewatch G1 a few years ago. So time-wise, it would work out. Where was the combiner team for the Autobots? Where was the combiner team for the Autobots? I mean, Devastator showed up, but we had nothing else for anybody else. Ooh. Oh, I would have liked to have seen that. That would have been cool. My thoughts on Optimus Primal. Wasn't he transform? Okay, which transform? All right. I know we had Up the Dark of the Moon. That was 3. We had the one after that that starred what's his name, that kicked off the what I want to call second phase. Wouldn't this be 7? Wouldn't this be the 7th movie or 8th one we're up to now? Because I know we had I know Up the Dark of the Moon, so that was the first 3. So you had Transformers, you had Revenge of the Fallen, and Dark of the Moon. We had the 4th one with Wahlberg as a starring cast, not Shia LaBeouf. The 5th one was the second movie in his line. I think that was was that Extinction? Was that Extinction? Because I thought Last Night was the next one. So is this like the 7th movie, I think, right? Or is this the 8th? I've honest to God, I've lost count. If we're up to the 7th or the 8th on this one, I've lost count. That's okay. You're not repeating yourself. I think you did mention that at one point. I think when we were talking Transformers the one time you mentioned that. That actually does sound pretty cool. Oh, that stuff fell on the cutting room seat. That's what pisses me off with that movie, too. You want to go full balls to the walls with this movie. You want to really make this thing the best that it was, the 86 movie. But yet you cut corners everywhere, you cheap pricks. They cut corners everywhere. They're like I know the Autobot city scene was supposed to be longer. You could see that in the trailer for it. I remember how the one person was complaining about how Ultra Magnus was a different color, and that one I pointed out because up to that point, Ultra Magnus was not in the show yet. So they were only going off of whatever the concept idea for Ultra Magnus was, hence why Ultra Magnus was red in the trailer, but then was later blue in the actual movie, because it was just the concept art of it. It's how they designed a lot of the toys for the original series and off of the other stuff, aside from just taking from the Diaclone line. They would take here's the concept of what the character is, now make a toy, and then, oh, hey, we have to change the concept art. Can you change the toy? No. Oh, well, then screw it. All right, so we're up to the 7th film. Okay, so the 5th film then would have been... 5th film would have been either Extinction... No, Last Night would have been the 6th film, so that would have been Extinction. So I don't think Optimus Primal would have been in Transformers 5. Even continuity-wise, it wouldn't have made sense. The last... Okay. Wait, that was... So Extinction was the sixth one then? See, and this is where I get confused. Oh, I forgot about Bumblebee. Does that count? So this would be 8. I forgot about the Bumblebee movie. Does that count for the timeline? Or does that stand alone? So I guess that would be 8 then. Okay, so then we're up to 8 then. Because I thought there was 3 with after the original 3 trilogy, I thought there was another 3. So now it would have brought us to 6. Then Bumblebee would be 7, and Rise of the Beast would be 8. So then that was the 8th one then. Or was there only 2 after the original trilogy? So like I said, this is where I get confused, and I'm just too lazy to look it up. There is that too. I'm a little too lazy to look it up sometimes, but well, to be fair, there were plot holes in the original trilogy too. Hell, look at Dark of the Moon. That thing had plot holes galore in it. Oh, we know of Transformers, but yet when these strange alien creatures fall from the sky, we don't know what to make of it. Oh, hey, they're Transformers. Really? Well, duh. Okay, so okay, I thought it was something else after. Okay, so then that one was 4th. All right, so then we are 7th. All right. Okay. Now it makes sense. All right, because I thought that the movie with Wahlberg in it was its own. I thought it was like Transformers something or other. Then I thought it was Extinction, and then or Age of Extinction, and then The Last Night. Okay, so now it makes sense. All right. All righty. All right, now it makes sense. Okay. Favorite episode from oh boy. Honestly, I don't know it off the top of my head because I would just sit through and watch those. I used to watch them when we were eating dinner. I'd actually have to sit down and look at the episode list again because I just binged it. But yeah, I liked a lot of them actually, especially for how corny they were. But I guess the one that I have to like the most was when Megatron got the massive power boost and was going to just destroy the Ark, which begs the question: he knew where the Ark was. He knew he could destroy the Ark. It would not take long to destroy the Ark. Why did he not just distract the Autobots? Go and make Starscream useful for once instead of just being the joke of the Transformers franchise. Why not have Starscream be useful and tell him, look, I'm putting you in command of something. You're going to go and attack these cities. And I want you to do it in this order. When the Autobots show up, I want you to start attacking again. Keep them occupied. Make sure they don't come back. If you do that, I will relinquish my title as leader of the Decepticons. Just to screw with them. Then, while the Autobots are gone, literally walk right into the Ark, blow that bitch to hell, and then go, well, so much for that problem. And then just like that, walk away. Meanwhile, Starscream's getting his sorry butt kicked. So at some point, that'll end that problem. So you don't have to worry about the backstabber anymore, who's only around. I made this comment in a video, and I stand by it. Oh, God, 2 Unicrons. Oh, man, help us all if there's 2 Unicrons. Help us all if there are 2 Unicrons. But yeah, I made this comment in a video, and I stand by it. And I still love pulling that up every now and then to see my comment again. I swear the only reason why Starscream was left around with the Decepticons was because he was an inside joke. The Decepticons would wager, hey, 5 Energon cubes says that Starscream manages to usurp Megatron today. You're on, just to see if any of the Decepticons would be stupid enough to take the bet. Like, he's only left around just so that the troops have something to laugh at. Like, oh, he's gonna try again today. Yeah, but wait your 5 Energon cubes, he does it. Oh god, Unicrons are oh no. So wait, do we not have Primus then in these newer movies? Because I know Primus and Unicron are basically two halves of the same coin. You can't have Unicron without Primus. Because I know even in the 86 movie, it was hinted that Primus still existed at some point. Not yet. Aww. Come on, they gotta give me what? They can spend the CGI budget for Unicron, but we can't get Primus, the literal Transformer god, the creator of all Autobot and Decepticon, the creator of all Cybertronians. We can't get freaking Primus. We can get Unicron. Oh well, at least it was mentioned, so that leaves the door open. That's all I ask. Just leave the door open. Well, to be fair, I think a lot of the Cybertronian civilization would be very afraid and ashamed of Optimus. There's a long line of things that I think he did that was wrong. Hell, I'll even go right back to Dark of the Moon. Not shooting. Sorry, let me rephrase this. Trying to give Sentinel Prime the freaking Matrix, saying that you're not worthy. The Matrix chooses who it believes is worthy. When Sam Witwicky sacrificed himself to save Optimus and tried his best to get there with the Matrix, with the sand pieces of it, it deemed him worthy. The other primes deemed him worthy and reconstituted it so that it could revive Optimus. If Optimus would not have been worthy, I'm pretty sure the Matrix would have blown him up from the inside out. So him trying to give that to Sentinel Prime in Dark of the Moon made no fucking sense to me whatsoever. That was a slap in the face and pissed me off. But oh no, Primus would be ashamed of him for a lot of stuff. Yes, I will. Can my assistant go to my job for me instead of me? Then yes. Oh God, yes. I would love a robot as an assistant. Oh yes, I would. Better yet, can my robot do things while I'm at work and then I can come home and not have to do oh no. I'll have yeah. Right, let me just say that. Yes. Chuck, yes. I would love to have a robot as an assistant. My robot, I would say, okay, I need you to make money for me while I go to work. Then I'll come home and it'll go, well, I made you this much money. Thank you, robot. How the fuck is it a prequel? No, wait, no. Wait a minute. Great, okay, there's continuity errors in this beyond recognition. If we're going with the fact that the Maximals existed on the Earth for many, many years prior to the events of Rise of the Beast, why did they not show themselves when the other Autobots and Decepticons showed up? Why did they not show up when the Fallen re-arose? Why did they not show up during any of the other 6 movies that came out before it? Okay, so if it's a prequel, then that's a giant plot hole. Yeah, we get that it's a sequel, Optimus. What we're confused about, at least what I'm confused about, is plot hole wise. It doesn't fit continuity within the Bay stuff. Was that I get that it's a sequel to Bumblebee. I get that. But if you take all 7 of the movies then and you lay them out in a line and figure out which came first, it's basically the chicken or the egg scenario here, which I actually had to discuss at work this week. Oh yeah, it's not our world. Uh-huh. It's it's not our world, but yet you visited it many times before. I mean, the Fallen showed up and enslaved people to try to build the Energon harvesting device, as we saw in Rise of and Revenge of the Fallen. We know that the Autobots were seen before when Megatron crash landed in, what was it, Antarctica, and Sam's grandfather found him. We know that they were trying to get to Earth via the space bridge from Dark of the Moon because Sentinel Prime wound up on the moon. And they found him in apparently the 60s when they went to the moon. Which honestly, I could totally buy that as an actual conspiracy theory. That they found that and there's like no video footage of it somewhere, or it's in Area 51. That I could buy. But yeah, it's not our world. It makes sense. But the thing is, it's confusing from a standpoint because Optimus always hinted that they're strangers to this world. Like, we knew nothing about your planet. Especially, that's how I came across it. I remember watching the first movie a few times. And what it got to me was that it seemed like Optimus was saying about how we're new to your planet. We know nothing of this world. But yet, if they know nothing of this world, how do you explain all the other Transformers that were here prior to you? They came here so they know of this world, and you can't pull the wool over our eyes entirely by saying that, oh, we know nothing of your planet because we're just simple, Autobots. If you would say we're simple farmers from a faraway planet, we know nothing of your world, and you're like the Janai from Stargate Atlantis. You're full of it. I can buy that this is not our world. Like, we know that this planet's inhabited by humans. We know that humans exist on this planet. What gets me is they know humans exist on this planet. Is this like a Starfleet thing where we can't interfere with what we deem to be not mature enough races? Because if so, you well violated that back in G1. Hell, screw that. Even in G2, you kind of violated that. Yeah, that's what's kind of bugging me, continuity wise. It's basically just continuity, because I actually did figure out for Moral Orel recently. Well, actually, it was last year, but I found my timeline sheet, like chronologically how Moral Orel works for how all 3 seasons worth of episodes fit chronologically. That made sense to me, but yeah. Yes, yeah, the deleted scenes will probably make a lot more sense. And okay, we're getting a video game that'll definitely probably fill in the plot holes. So it's basically, we're going to take the stuff that we couldn't put in the movie and we're just going to shove it into a game because we didn't have the budget to throw it into the movies. But hey, we found and I just got a notification on my tablet, which I'm hoping did not get picked up on my mic. It's either Ibis Paint or not. It's Monopoly. Of course, it's Monopoly. Okay. Yeah, a friend of mine got me into Monopoly, so that was fun. She got me into playing Monopoly Go, so that was good. Well, no, actually, yeah, then they would have been. That is a little screwy again. But yeah, if what Optimus Prime 2471 saying is true, then we'll just get it from the video game, the tie-in video game, and the deleted scenes when it comes out. Then will you stop beeping, please? Jeez. Now everybody's coming out of the woodwork, and I'm getting notifications. I'm going to turn my volume down. Yeah, because I don't have any buildings up, so they're just robbing my bank. But it's giving me the notification. Hey, it's because I have my tablet on. So, well, technically, like I was saying, because you had the Fallen that was on Earth, you had some of the other Primes that know of Earth, of the original 13 Primes that were shown in Revenge of the Fallen. And man, I love when the neighbor has to mow. It's like I said, it's way too hot for me to close my window, but I'm not going to unless I absolutely have to, because I will roast in here. I'll roast alive in here. But yeah, I mean, that would make a little bit of sense in the grand scale of things. But at the same time, I can understand why we wouldn't get stuff like that. But then again, what the and hell? Just the first three things that come to my mind. What the and hell? I mean, I like when people do make stuff that just explains things, but yeah. Yeah, The Matrix was that. Yeah, it does make sense. I'm not a fan of Mark Wahlberg. No. No, I'm not. I am not a fan of Mark Wahlberg. I couldn't even stand watching his TV show, so I'm not a huge Mark Wahlberg fan. Honestly, I'm not. I don't even think I have a single Mark Wahlberg movie. Like, not a one. And I'm trying to clean up part of the living room, get rid of some trash and junk, so I can get a hold of my buddy and get my movies back. I want my movies back. I want my movies back. I know where they are, but I don't have the room for them, and I'm trying to clean up some space so I can get them back because I want my movies back. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I did see that. I am in it. I will agree with that. I didn't think Shia LaBeouf was bad either when he did the first three movies, but Dark of the Moon lost me. And then when the next ones were coming out and I saw Wahlberg and I saw the trailer for it, I was put off. I didn't mind the first three. The third one, to be fair, I mostly watched that just to see Sentinel Prime, just as the next ones. I watched clips of them. They bored the crap out of me. And as my one, somebody that I know said, I was going to say friend, but it's somebody that I know said, Grimlock didn't go, me Grimlock. That upset him. He really wanted to hear Grimlock go, me Grimlock. That kind of, that bothered him a bit. But yeah, I wouldn't have minded hearing that though. Me Grimlock. I mean, the sad thing is, I was bringing this up at work because there's like an automated sound system whenever there's a spill. And I was bringing this up at work that they really need to get some better voices for that damn thing because I'm getting tired of hearing the same voice over and over and over again. And I got like a really bad itch from the heat. But there's like it's a generic computer voice. I said it would be really cool to get the sound of Optimus Prime. And then I was kind of doing one. I'm like, there's a spill in aisle 5. I can kind of do a good Optimus Prime, but I'd have to go over that out there. But I can do a pretty good Optimus Prime. This is actually kind of funny. I am Optimus Prime. We're here. We're waiting. I grew up with the Transformers, so it makes sense. Granted, as far as like the original stuff goes, the first time I ever saw anything from the original G1 series and even in the G2 was from the 86 movie. Every holiday. We're talking Easter, Memorial Day, 4th of July, sometimes Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. He'd always go, hey, we're going to go rent some movies at Blockbuster. I got to come along because he would pick 2 for the family to watch, or 1 for everybody to watch, 1 for just the adults to watch, and then a movie for me. Most of the time, if there wasn't anything for me, I would go, well, I'm just going to, here's a movie for you, watch this. And it would just be like 1 movie for the family and then a movie for me to just go watch on my own. But that's how I watched the original 86. Ooh. I'm actually not going to lie. I like the arc that we got. I'm just not going to spend that much money on it. And first of all, I had no room for it to begin with, but I do love that arc that we got. I still laugh though at the people that spent, what was it, like $400 on Hasbro Plus to get the I think it was like $400 that people spent to get that Unicron from Hasbro Plus. I was like, Jesus Christ. But then again, we have that Transforming Optimus now, which is like $600. There's the they were just talking. Oh, Chris McFreely was just talking about it with his Fortress Maximus video about how we have the different sized Transformers. You have Metroplex from Titan's Return, then Fortress Maximus, and all those. Like, yeah. That's it. HasLabs. That's it. HasLabs. And you got it. Oh, you got it for $90. Oh, lucky you. Whew. I actually liked the arc. I really enjoyed when I saw the arc. Hey, welcome back, Abit. When I saw the arc, when that was getting released, I saw the designs for it. I was like, oh my God, this is really cool. I like how this looks. And then we just had this weirdness, and I saw how much it was going to be. And I'm like, okay, it looks cool, but not that cool. It's cool, but I'm not paying this much money cool. That was almost like how much I kind of figured it out. That would have been about the price of an old school Power Rangers Deluxe Megazord back in the 90s if we adjusted for inflation today. And I was like, no, no, it looks cool, but I'm not paying that much money. I finally tracked down a Metroplex from Cybertron. And I came across that on eBay a couple of years ago. So I'm happy about that. But geez, one of my favorite actors. I have a bunch of actors that they could come out and say, hey, I'm doing a movie. I'll go, hey, that's great. Go for it. I'm not go for it. I'm just not a fan of his. I don't know why. When I was growing up, I liked Uncle Buck, Spaceballs, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. I did kind of like Turbo for a while when I got Starship Troopers with him. We made him question every god he knew. Was very upset with me about that because it was we got that on a Friday. It was only $5. Crap aside, I liked Starship Troopers. So my uncle took me to see it, and we got it on a Friday. It was only $5. He's like, well, I'm not spending $20 for this other movie just because you ruined the other copy you had. So if you pick something for $5, okay. Starship Troopers. I like Starship Troopers. Uncle Bobby took me to go see it. So he's like, okay, that's fine. We're watching it. They're killing bugs. There's death. There's mutilation. I'm sitting there on the floor watching this like, yep. And he's squirming in his seat. When my mom got home that night, he literally looked at her and goes, who in the hell took him to see that? She goes, Bobby. Goes, ugh. Next morning, he had the tape that I ruined. My mom had brought it down to him. He goes, throw this in the fire. Because he was burning trash it was like a Saturday morning. He goes, throw this in the fire. Chucked it in the fire. He goes, give this to your other uncle there. How am I supposed to give this to you? He goes, I'll get you that other movie. That was disturbing. You're watching that. That was your own fault, old man. You told me to pick a movie, and I saw it in theaters, so deal with it. It's not my fault. Go blame the uncle that took me there. Yeah, I saw the Legacy Evolution. Yeah, that one does look pretty awesome. But I did like the one I wanted was from Cybertron, and I had a chance to get it, but I only had enough for either it or the interactive Talk With Me Yoda. Both were on clearance at Walmart. I wanted both, but I only had enough for one, so I went for the Yoda. And the next week, when I ended up getting enough money to get the Metroplex, it was already gone. I was really bummed about it. So then for years, I was looking on eBay and trying to check it out, and I finally got my hands on one. And the only issue I had with it, now this thing was practically like new. The only issue I had with it was the peg on the one socket. If you stuck a mini-con on it, the peg broke. My mom did plastic work for years. I showed her the peg. She looked at me and goes, this was really chintzy made. Like, they did not put a lot of thought and effort to reinforce it in there. So don't feel too bad that it broke. That's the only damage that it has. I still have it. I still have it. But yeah. Oh, that'd be cool to have Grimlock in that. Me, Grimlock? Who you? Yeah, Land Before Time wasn't a bad movie. I could never really get into it, but it wasn't a bad movie. I remember that We're Back movie that had gotten released, but Land Before Time wasn't bad. I just never like childhood movies. I could definitely say I never could get into the one that I know a friend of mine loves with a passion. I just could never get into it. It was All Dogs Go to Heaven. I could not get into that movie no matter what. Nothing could get me into that. I have not seen The Flash, but I did see Warp Zone's DCEU Our Way song that they put out about 2 weeks ago. I laughed my ass off at that. Oh, that sounds cool. See, that's the thing I like is when it shows how much of a community and how strong Transformers are. I will say this though, I did see I actually had to rewatch the Chris McFeely video on G Axis because I saw the figure at Walmart. I wasn't gonna pay $35 for it. Plus, I didn't have the extra anyway. But I was like, I swear I can get this cheaper on eBay without the box and all the hullabaloo. But I saw it, and I just thought, oh, I love the name behind this. For those that don't know, the story or the origin of G-Axis for the name, they were told if the comic series was not going to be good, they were going to yank it. So they were only going to get X amount of things, and they had to basically make every single one of them good. So they literally name the robot G-Ax Us. They were taunting them. It was literally that they just said it really fast, like G-Axis. That's what the robot's name is. But in actuality, it's G-Axis. It's like, just try it. I love that origin story. I love the name of that, the origin story for that name. I love that. G-Axis. Like, see what happens. Axis. I love that origin story. That is like one of the best I ever heard. It makes me laugh so hard. G-Axis. Yeah, Optimus, I will say this. This is something that still bothers me, and I know I'm not alone in this one. Going back with the toys, why have we never gotten Optimal Megatron from Beast Machines? I know that there was the one person out there did make a fan-made model, just got rid of the Optimus Primal head or the Optimal Optimus Beast head, did a customized mold. I think they either took the face off of Transmetal 2 Megatron or off of Transmetal Megatron or the original one. I think no, it's the Transmetal one because the robot. They said the robot body broke on them. That's why they did it. They were just scrapping it for parts. And they kind of fixed it together and made a optimal Megatron, but it wasn't an official one. How come we never got that? That's something I would love to see. Is an official optimal Megatron from Beast Machines. I mean, that thing at least. I mean, hell, that was Megatron in his purest form. I would have loved even just a fan fiction, even just somebody doing a stop motion on YouTube of Optimal Optimus, both from Beast Wars and Power of the Primes. I think of it. Both from Beast Wars and Power of the Primes taking on that form of Megatron. I would love to see that. I hope we do, because that would be really cool. It's the one Megatron we have not gotten yet. I mean, we had the weird one from Beast Machines, which that one if they ever want to redo any of the Beast Machines toys, first off, redo Cheetor because that thing was fucking massive. I got that the one year for my birthday. That thing was massive. It was huge. And Optimus was tiny in comparison, and Cheetor's massive. Cheetor's this massive bot, and Optimus is this tiny, tiny thing. I know we got to redone. They redid Tankor for the 30th because I got that one. Yeah, I would love. I would seriously love to get Yeah, I love that. It's Herald of Unicron. I love that. G Axis. I love that name. I'm sorry. If I could ever get a hold of that figure, see, do I have that box like right around here? Yeah, wait, yeah, I do. Oh wait. That question is, can I get it out without falling and having to get up or anything? I actually do have my box of some of my Transformers here. I forgot to actually move that down, move that in here. The only ones I don't have down here are my Metroplex and a couple other ones, but I got let's go my sword. So I got this one that I picked up like really, really cheap. And some of these I just make like my own little stories with, where they're basically just here. Let me show you. Hold on. My box of Transformers, like my favorite scrap metal from Cybertron. Ironically, a Decepticon model, but I consider it an Autobot. That's what I kind of do with some of these. Is they're not exactly Autobots or Decepticons. They're more or less they're just they're Cybertronians that decided, oh, we're neither like, oh, we might have been Autobots, but now we're more just we don't want any part of this crap. Or they're Decepticons that figured, you know what, Megatron's wrong, and so Starscream. We're done listening to both ends. But yeah. All right, you know what's funny? That would have made up for how cruddy Beast Machines was if we would have actually had that. That would have made up for how cruddy Beast Machines was. I watched Beast Machines. I remember watching all of it as a kid, growing up on Fox. I watched it all. I just remember that ending feeling so forced, so quick, it wasn't funny. I'm basically thinking this was the cheapest, cruddiest ending ever done. But no, if we would have gotten that, that would have been a lot better because his optimal form was kick ass. As I remember, it was Bolt Matrix and somebody else on Twitter that were talking about how come in Beast Machines they reverted back to their season 1 Beast Wars forms because of the virus instead of just their Cybertronian forms. And I kind of gave my theory on it in the comments, and I apologize not thinking about it, but I was saying about how it almost seemed like in a way it was a system restore. Like they were taking it back to a point when they knew they were uncorrupted. Like their internal system was thinking, okay, we need to take ourselves back to a point where we're not being corrupted, we're not being screwed. And that was right then and there, because their protoform bodies that they had, or their basic Cybertronian bodies, were deemed had to be upgraded. And this was the first moment where they were basically immune to anything, but they just couldn't transform then. That got auto-locked. That was kind of my theory running into it, but it was a pretty good theory, but that would have been better. But like I was saying, toys that they could make better, remake Cheetor, remake Rat Trap. They remade Tankor. I'm happy with that. That's actually one. I know I have that one in here. But yeah, they remade Tankor, remake the Megatron, give us Optimal Megatron, and for the love of God, remake Optimus. Because the only decent Optimus Primal that we got from that series, toy-wise, was the one that punches, and even that felt cruddy. And that came out near the end of the series. I have played Soul Calibur. I played Soul Calibur 2. I loved Soul Calibur 2. I remember playing it. There was an arcade at the one mall, and I went up there the one day while my mom was at work because I was driving her to work, and I had 2 hours to kill. I didn't want to come home because my grandparents were fighting. So I went up to the mall. I went to the arcade, and it was like the last week of school, so I'm assuming the schools up there were already closed for the summer. And there was a kid hustling coins and everything out of the um other players. He's doing Soul Calibur 2 on the arcade. I was like, yeah, okay. So I'm taking him on, and I'm like, this one's pretty cool. Can I be him? And the kid's just looking at me like, yeah, sure, you can be Nightmare. That's fine. I'll be this one here. Okay, cool. So I'm Nightmare, and I don't remember which one he picked, but oh my God, I just freaking nailed him. Like the first round he won, and I'm like, oh, I lost. He goes, oh, don't worry. It's best of 2. Don't worry. I'm like, oh, cool. I made it seem like I never played an arcade game before in my life. And then I won the second one. I managed to push him out. Then I'm like, this is really fun. He goes, yeah. He goes, it is. He goes, this. And he goes, well, I'm going to have to beat you. And I said, I guess I should let you in on something. Round starts, swing up, slam down, ring out. I'm like, I practiced this at home on my GameCube. I just schooled the little punk. He just stood there as I walked away. I wish I would have had a mic to do a mic drop. I just walked away. He's just standing there like, what the hell just happened? And you got schooled. That's what happened, kid. That's what happened. You got schooled. Oh, they needed to remake a lot of those. A lot. I'm glad they remade Tankor at least. I didn't like Tankor's look from the original toy. The one that came out for the 30th was really nice, really good. I did get that. I liked that one. Mine just didn't have the projectile, but I was fine with that because I didn't want the projectile. But oh boy, I liked the newer Tankor. Yeah, I wish they would have remade a lot of those toys though. Like they should. I mean, I love how we're finding new old stock of the Beast Wars toys because Walmart has some now. I wish that they would just remake some of the Beast Machine stuff and really push that out, but I don't think they're going to want to. From the standpoint of Beast Machines was a commercial failure as far as Hasbro was concerned. Toy sales sucked for it. And only the dumb, gullible, and stupid, like myself and several others, bought the toys, and they had a lot that came back. They as I saw places, they're selling them, and they're on clearance already. So I have been to some arcades when I was a kid. My mom and I took vacations to Seaside Heights in New Jersey a few times. I went on the boardwalk, and I did play in the arcades. I won a picture at the time Batman and Robin was out. That's the one with George Clooney. What's his name that played Robin? Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, and my personal favorite, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Victor Freeze. And there was a picture of the entire cast. It was Batman, Robin, Batgirl, I think Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze. And they were all in this picture. I wanted that picture, so I'm trying my damnedest to win it, and I did win it then. I had a choice between that picture or a inflatable yellow Power Ranger, and I actually just went for the picture. I still have the picture. It's in my mom's room. I still have that picture to this day. It's in a different frame because I ended up cracking the frame, but I still have that picture. I love that picture. But yeah, I've been to arcades. There was a place when I was growing up called Major Magic. So that was a fun that was definitely a fun little arcade, but I remember going there a few times. Pizza sucked. Somebody said it was like Chuck E. Cheese pizza. It wasn't the world's greatest, but pizza sucked. But yeah, I have been to arcades. I also played the arcade machines at movie theaters a lot. I played Primal Rage, Samurai Showdown. So those were fun. Yeah, I remember Gary Chalk bitching about it. That was one of his. Somebody actually asked him about that. I don't remember if it was like at a convention or if it was an interview, and he even admitted he hated voicing doing the lines because it just he said the whole series just felt wrong. It felt like it was not a continuation of Beast Wars. It felt like it was just some needless cash grab that they were all under contract and they needed something to shove them onto. Well, at that point, why not just stretch out Beast Wars for another season instead of doing the half-assed ending that they did? Because I remember, and this was something that I did read in high school because I was researching Beast Wars for a project I was doing. And one of the things was that I don't remember if it was the final episode or if it was one of the episodes in the final season that the creator of the show actually was getting death threats from fans and other people because of it. Because of just how lousy it was. But you had plot holes galore. Like there was, how did they ever return Megatron's spark to his body? Well, yeah, you have to see the deleted scenes for it. Yeah, I thought that was true because I remember reading it in high school and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. Sending death threats for how bad this was? And then I watched the final season again, like, oh, God, this was awful. I mean, they sped everything in that final season was sped up. You had, I think Jumping the Shark was Dinobot 2. Though I loved, this is one that they definitely got to remake. They need to remake Dinobot 2. But, oh, yeah. Yep, I remember reading about that, and it never got made because of I don't remember what the reason was, but I remember it did not come to fruition. But yeah. Well, that's cool, Chuck. Now, I just remember when I was a kid, my uncle took me to a place called Major Magic. So that was kind of fun. There was the arcades at Seaside Heights when my mom and I went on vacation on the boardwalk. And then just like there was a in the one mall there was an arcade called Funtime Arcade. I wasted a lot of quarters in there because it was right across from the movie theater. So if we were like an hour early for the movie, my uncle would give me $20 and say, here's $20. Go get $20 worth of quarters and have fun. We're an hour early. So instead of sitting in the theater or because the theater wasn't open yet, it's like, here, go over into the arcade and spend $20 over there. I'll sit right here. I can see you from here. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, that's right. It was too dark. It just gets all right. Yeah, that one was too dark. But yet we have an entire episode in season 2. In season 2, Transmutate. That one is too dark. Whereas a season earlier, you had an episode that basically was telling the story of I'm going to go with Protoform. I'm going to say Protoform on this one because he never actually took a form. You had Transmutate, who basically seemed like the slow transformer. And basically he dies at the end. That wasn't big. But then you have Beast Machines where, Rhinox is now evil. Optimus is trying to force his beliefs on everybody because, I am the messenger of the Oracle. It wants everything to be organic. It wants everything to be techno and organic. Screw pure technology, blah, blah, blah. And you actually have Cheetor, and this is what pissed me off with Beast Machines. You have Cheetor who's trying to basically be this, look, Big Bot, you have to understand, this is idiotic what you're trying to do. When I'm siding with Rat Trap and the other 3 Maximals over you, I'm sorry. I have to agree with Cheetor on this one. What you wanted to do is idiotic. Hands down. But yeah, like I said, season 3 of Beast Wars, aside from an optimal situation, the episode when Tigerhawk showed up, and I am going to say the episode when Megatron got when Megatron got his upgrade, those are about the only 3 decent episodes in all of season 3. The rest of them were mediocre at best, at least as far as I'm concerned. You hear the way I sound now over the microphone? That's pretty much apparently how he always sounded. At least as far as my family tells me that I sounded like him a lot on the phone. So that's about how he sounded. Hence why I try to change my voice from time to time, because I do want to sound a little more softer, and why I'm working on it. But for tonight, I actually do have a bit of a sore throat because of the weather. Ooh. Oh my. Well, I can officially see somebody trying to reenact the final few episodes of Beast Wars. I mean, they did Tiger Hawk dirty in that series. Well, let me rephrase that. They did Tigertron and Airazor dirty in that entire series. Tigertron comes in as this, I'm going to be the lone wanderer that just wanders the planet, blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine. We need a scout out here anyway. Go for it. But if we ever really need you at the base, you got to show up lickety split, which he did. I will give him credit for that. Then at the start of season 2, coming to the Fuse Wars Part 1, he and Airazor, we're going to go on this world cruise together. Bye. Okay. I mean, I remember in season I learned from the end of Part 1. Like I said, I watched Aftermath and Part 1 so many times. I have most of it memorized, and I have some lines that I quote. But he goes, Rhinox is off chasing comets with his mind, and Cheetor's bringing a squad of Preds home to play. Tigatron and Airazor are off of some world cruise. Oh, no, I remember the line. He goes, Primal's been vaped. Dinobots disappeared. Tigatron and Airazor are off of some world cruise, and now you're going offline? Well, why don't we just open up the door and invite Megatron in? I love that line. I love that line so much. But yeah. And then when Dinobot comes back and goes, what's the emergency? Well, Rhinox is off chasing comets with his mind, and Cheetor's bringing a squad of Preds home to play. But if they hit this place, Big Green there goes permanently offline. See, at least season 2 of Beast Wars knew what it was doing, culminating the story into the season 2 finale. That was beautifully done. But then you had the whole season 3, aside from the first episode, the whole of season 3 was just, what in the hell is going on here? And none of it made sense. Episodes in it that I enjoyed a lot, and episodes that I hate. Well, I know my grandfather did smoke, though, like long before I was born. I know he smoked, but yeah, my mom said that he what the hell was it? Oh, that yeah, he did that. He gave it up then. He actually quit it cold turkey. But I've been told, like, just sound like him. Like, when I pick up the phone, I would say hello, and everybody's like, oh, hi, Dad. Hold on, I'll get him. Like, I'm not him, but I sounded like him. But of course, budget cuts don't make that happen. Ugh. Why have a movie where you're bringing in the cast of Beast Wars without bringing in the cast of Beast Wars? You give us Beast Wars, but you're giving us the watered down Beast Wars. Oh, we have Rhinox. That's a fan favorite. And Cheetor. Yeah. No Rat Trap. All right. See you around. See you 8-bit. Thanks for hanging out. I don't know. I always feel horrible about that, because I always feel like we could have gotten a better, like, there really could have been a better movie out of that. We could have gotten a decent Rat Trap. We could have gotten a decent, thing of it. I mean, hell, when Kingdom does a better job of bringing the two factions together, The Autobots and the Maximals. When that does a better job bringing that together, and that was made for the smaller screen, mind you. That was made for Netflix. That's sad. That is sad of sad. But yeah. All right. Anything else? I went on a nice tangent about Transformers. We talked about Transformers a lot tonight. I will say that. We talked about Transformers for a lot tonight. Do you remember that Transwarp explosion? All right, stupid question. You remember that? I remember the Transwarp explosion very well. It's what kind of changed me. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you what her voice sounded like because honestly, she started getting really nasty near the end. She was getting uppity and yelling a lot. So I actually have tried to block her voice out of my mind because of it. I don't need the PTSD from it. Because I just remember the whole when I started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because my grandmother was one of those. She would watch the TV evangelists. She liked John Hagee a lot. Because when her sister died, I stupidly wrote to the guy thinking that, hey, maybe it'll be nice and they'll send her like a little prayer card or something. I don't know. But yeah. One of his little cronies sent a letter back. And I'm thinking to myself, look, I'm doing this anonymously to be nice. I don't want any recognition. Don't put my name on that damn thing. But they're like, yeah, your grandson, Andy. Oh, son of a bitch. I was like, you gotta be gracious. Yeah, look at this. This was fun talking about Transformers. I had a blast. This has been great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Transformers. Optimus Prime will always be one of my favorites. Actually, wait, where did I put that? Yeah, there it is. Because I actually got I pulled both of these out of the living room because I love doing Dollar Tree shopping because you can always find the good stuff. So I got Optimus Prime keychain. Optimus Prime is my favorite Autobot. He literally is. All-time favorite is Optimus Prime. If I'd ever meet Peter Cullen, believe me, I'm getting an autograph. Like, I will do my damnedest to get an autograph from Peter Cullen because I like Optimus Prime. Oh, I know. All right, I got one. I don't know if Optimus is still here, but I got one. The toy that they can remake for the Legacy line. The Optimus Prime from Robots in Disguise. The one that could combine with Ultra Magnus. The one that had his, it was the fire truck. They could change into the super mode. They could remake that. I mean, we already got the Armada one where they actually gave him legs. He actually has legs now. It's a miracle. He has legs. It's a miracle. But yeah, no, I remember with my grandmother, I thought it'd be nice, like, yeah, all right. And my grandfather was demanding to know what I put in that letter. I didn't even remember what the hell I put in that letter. I just remember I had to go to the post office the next morning because I had something that shipped out. It was a trading card or a movie or a figure or something. And I just grabbed a stamp. No, I didn't even get a stamp. I just paid for a stamp down there and I sent it off. And it showed up, I'd say like maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, she got a letter from him. And she's crying in the living room reading this letter. And then she's like, thank you so much for writing. I'm like, ugh. I just remember her flipping out when I started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because all of a sudden she's listening to him one afternoon And he's going about how if your children or your grandchildren are getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, it's the devil, blah blah blah, and the devil. And she looks at me, and this was a Wednesday. I'm in high school. She looks at me and goes, "You're going to hell." Not even batting an eye. Not even missing a note. I just turn to her and go, "Yep, first class. What's your point?" "Yep, first class. I already got my condo picked out in hell. It's right between Oprah and Dr. Phil. What's your point?" It's like, I already got my condo in hell. It's right next to my room's between Oprah and Dr. Phil. What's your point? Oh, I love that joke. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I did. I had a blast though tonight talking about Transformers. Oh man, this was fun. Yeah, like I said, I would love. That is the one thing that I've been trying to get my hands on is Transmetal Megatron, because I always liked that look of that one. I always liked the fact that it could fly in both Dino, in both its alt mode and in robot mode. It could technically fly in robot mode, which was really cool. It had the most. All right. So the first one, Megatron and Beast Wars, was okay. It looked menacing. It definitely had the "I am the leader. I am the one that you take orders from. That is how this works." It had the look of pecking order. Transmetal Megatron, that took that look straight up to 100. Like, I am the one that gives the orders, not you, me. I am in command. And that was the look that I just love that look. That's because I would love to get my hands on that one and just go, well, this is the Megatron from an alternate dimension where we didn't really fight the Maximals, and I kind of came to an understanding after I was usurped by, let's say, Pterosaur, Scorponok, or Inferno. I'll go with Inferno. The ass kisser didn't have the memory problem and just immediately took over as the leader of the Predacons. And that was the end of that. So that he just said, Megatron just decided, I'm going to team up with the Maximals, and that was how that went. Which I could totally buy that as a scenario. But then you had the Dragon Megatron, which definitely took the look to 100, but I liked the look from Transmetal Megatron. That one was my favorite out of all of them. But yeah. That was my favorite look out of all of them. But I don't know. Yeah, I did like the Cheetor, and I did see that the third-party people are making Cheetor, the Transmetal one, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I like Transformers. So I've had a blast talking about Transformers tonight. I could go on a tangent for a good few hours, just Transformers alone, because I loved the original. G1 was good. G2 was okay. I did not like how the US version of G2 ended with the rebirth. So basically all of season 3. Or no, season 4. Sorry, season 4. I didn't like that we got. The continuity that they had over in Japan looked a lot cooler than what we got here then. But then we had Beast Wars, then Beast Machines, then we had Robots in Disguise, which was Car Robo, I think they said over in Japan, or Carbot or something. Over in Japan. I do apologize for the noise of the lawnmower. My neighbor's an idiot. But we had that. What was it? I don't know. I actually did like the Unicron trilogy. So that was Armada, Energon, and Cybertron. Cybertron was my favorite. I did have the Optimus from that one, but I had to sell it. I liked the transformation, the combination with Leo Breaker, with Wing Saber. Those were really cool transformations. But yeah. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I can actually yeah. I could probably narrow down the year. I want to say 95, Christmas of 95. Yeah, I want to say Christmas of 95. It would have been the Christmas of 1995. That would have been when Power Rangers, I want to say season 2 was going on. That was the one with Lord Zed. and the Thunderzords. It was Christmas Day. My cousin, no joke about this. Now, I am about 6, like 5 or 6. No, I would have been 6, because, yeah, I would have been 6. My cousin, no joke on this. My cousin's in high school, okay? Punches me across the living room floor. I'm 6 years old. I am 6 years old. I wanted to interact with the older kids. I wanted to know what was going on. I'm 6. I didn't know any freaking better. I get punched across the living room floor. Okay. I go up to my room. I bring down my nice new Megazord that I got for Christmas, which was the Thunderzord, the White Tiger Zord. I'm quick building the thing together. My grandfather takes it, throws it in the box, throws it back up in my room, shoves me in my room, closes the door, and tells me I'm to stay here for the rest of the day. My mom and aunt come home. My mom comes up and goes, "What the hell happened?" I tell her. She goes, "We'll take care of it." I remember coming down for dinner. I'm getting in trouble again. And it's like, no, we're handling it. Yeah, I told him to stay up there for the rest of the day. That's me handling it. My mom goes, "No, we're handling it." I was just supposed to come down and get my food and go, and that's all I was trying to do. But yeah, that was fun. I remember that when I was a kid. I mean, to be fair, when I was a kid, if I did anything that would piss off my grandfather's either guests that were over, which would be any of my family members, or him personally, he would scream and yell. He would get mad. My grandmother too. She would get very nasty. Then it got to the point where I basically learned that if anyone comes over, I have to hide. In other words, if we had relatives that came over, if they showed up, I had to hide. I could not leave the room. We had there were relatives that none of us liked coming around, but they came around anyway. Every holiday they came around. We did not like them coming around. I had to stay hidden. The one year I had to use the bathroom so bad. I am sitting, because I was in my mom's room because I was watching TV. I couldn't go up to my room because I couldn't get through the... Makes sense. But yeah, my so I was in my mom's room because I couldn't go to my room because I would have to have gone through the dining room to get there. So it's like, no, just stay in my room. That way, in case I need your help with something, you're down here. I don't have to yell up the steps for you. Okay. So I lived on the second floor. So the relatives come over. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. They're up. I'm like, great. I can't leave the room. I could not leave the room. I am in there. I'm not even joking on this. They showed up, okay, at 10 o'clock in the morning. This was a Christmas day. 10 a.m. My mom did not account for them coming up before lunch, so she did not have enough food to feed them and the rest of us. She, figured out the meal for 4 people, not 6. And she told my grandfather this. We did not eat lunch until 2 o'clock. I am in the room. I am having to hold it until 2 o'clock. When they finally left, I make a beeline out my mom's room, a beeline to the bathroom, almost knocked my grandmother over because she had to go too. And all of a sudden I hear this, "Well, why did he almost do that?" I come out of the bathroom, my grandfather started yelling and said, "Because I've had to go since 10 a.m. when they showed up. That's why." Then all of a sudden he changed his tune of, "Oh, that's not right. You shouldn't have had to hide just because they show up." No duh. Yeah. But no, it's like anytime I would ever do something that my grandfather or grandmother would consider wrong, they would try to punish me for it. It's like, no, you don't act like this, because they wanted me raised how they raised my mom. That wasn't going to happen. Then when my cousins were little, my one cousin actually spit on my grandmother. He hawked a loogie. My mom and I are getting ready to leave to go run to Walmart that night because we always tried to disappear if we could. And it's usually just either into Walmart or I go down to my buddy's youth group. Ooh, I hope his lawnmower just popped. That would be so great. But we basically, we would disappear. We're just getting ready to leave. All of a sudden, he goes and he spits. My cousin spits in my grandmother's face. And my grandfather doesn't do anything. And my mom screams a pitch fit. She goes, "You would have yanked him by the side. You would have been screaming at him till hell froze over." Yeah, then he looked at my cousin and punished him. It's like, yeah, about fucking time. But, yep. All right, we've been at this, holy crap, almost an hour. Wow, almost 2 hours. Damn. There's only one person left. I don't think anybody really wants to hear me talk anymore tonight. I think everybody's done hearing me talk. Any ideas for next week? Thoughts? Any ideas? Thoughts? Let me hear them. If not, I'll put a thing. Yeah, no, I know what I'll do. I'll put a couple of ideas up on my Twitter at Otaku Roads on Twitter. I'll put a poll up. I'll have it go till Wednesday, which would be, if I put it up tonight, I'll do like 3 to 5 days on if I can. And you know what? Hold on, I'll just do that now quick. Hold on. I forgot I have my tablet right here. Adoy, I have my tablet. Why don't I just do that? Stupid Monopoly. Yeah. Everybody's robbing me blind. Blah, blah, blah. Rob my money from a freaking virtual bank in a game. Whatever. Let's see here. But yeah, I will go and put a poll up for what topic should be for episode 20. Can't believe I'm 20 episodes into this already. Holy crap. I'm 20 episodes into this podcast, but yeah. Okay. So choice one. I gotta go back. Right. Video. What the hell is it? All right. I think of two. Okay, if I start it today, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll do 5 days. Anime series. I'm gonna come up with 3 to give a decent idea here, but all right. So as you can see from my tablet here, I will be posting this in a few moments, so you can see it. It is basically the poll for next week's topic. We have here cheaters in video games, weirdest anime series, or death battle blunders. For that one, it'll basically be any death battle from that wonderful online YouTube channel that I kind of feel like really went off the rails in the wrong direction. We all know one of them. But yeah, it's going to run for 5 days. So it should end about 9 o'clock on Thursday, which, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. So it'll be done about 9 o'clock on Thursday. So I'll see the results when I get home Thursday night from work, because I work till 10. I work till close. So that is officially now up. Okay. It is officially now up. You can go check that out over on Twitter at Otaku Roads. That's the @ sign, capital OTAKU, capital RHOADS. So head on over to Twitter and check that out. And until next time, folks, I've been your host here on the worst podcast ever. I swear, if I can ever get to the point where I can have other people on this show, I am going to try my damnedest to bring my friend on, because she's the one that inspired the name for this show. I swear I will get her on if it is the last thing I ever do. Maybe I'll try to do it for like episode 50. If I make it to episode 50, I should give me plenty of time to find a way to do this, and I'll bring her on. I'll see if I can bring her on. I'll try. I can't make any promises. I'll try. Go, hey, I do a live stream podcast every Saturday night, and if you're not busy, because I know she has a girlfriend. Yes, that's the one. You know that one. But yeah, I'll see if I could get her to come on sometime. She'd be interested, but probably not. Anyway, until next week, folks, I have been your host here. Don't forget to check out my other videos. I am going to be, believe it or not, starting up my idea for a review video, probably YouTube reviews, because anybody know what's in this? This is the stand for my green screen, which all I have to do is move my toolbox here, which I could technically put over top of my manga or put underneath my manga box if I want to. Then I just can't get to my trading cards, but I could figure out a solution to that. Or when I finally get a chance to clean this room up a little bit, move it over a little more, but I can finally get my green screen up. I could probably even just get it up now. It'll just be stretched out this way, and I'd have this like directly behind me. But my goal is to start doing reviews like I was doing with my Q&A, and just have something behind me, like picture or image wise. So that's kind of my goal that I'm aiming for in the next few weeks. So that's going to be kind of fun. On top of that, I am planning to bring back the Anime GBU, because I want to start doing that again. And if you want to see me suck at playing video games, I have actually been playing some games, and I have been uploading them over on my Jessica Charms YouTube channel, because it's under the Jessica Plays playlist. Right now, I am into a playthrough of Golden Sun, my all-time favorite game. I am pretty far into it now, and spoiler, I have yet to lose. Like, seriously, I have gone up against every single boss, and I've only lost one member going up against the boss, and that was ironically it'd be Ivan's character, but I renamed it Andy. So yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good. So if you want to see me suck at video games, go check that playlist out. Some of the videos in that are pretty long. There are a couple 3-hour ones in that. Some are about 2 hours. I'm trying to get it to be about an hour and a half to make it easier to upload. But yeah, go check that video out. And until next time, folks, I am your host. I'm Andrew / Jessica, and I am out of here, folks. I will catch you all next time here on the worst podcast ever. Night, everybody.